Well, that was the wonderful Rhydian Roberts there, and I'm very pleased to say hello to Rhydian now. Hello, Rhydian.
Hello, Jill. Thank you for playing that.
Oh, it's wonderful, that, actually. It's I've listened to your album over the last few days, actually, and I think it's a very moving album. That was particularly a wonderful tune to play for me tonight, and you selected that, thank you. So, Rhydian, thank you for your patience, and I did try to catch you on Tuesday. We had one or two problems, but it's wonderful to say hello to you now.
The joys of technology, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's good when it works.
Absolutely, it really is. Now, most of our listeners will remember you mostly from the X Factor, and I can't believe that it was 2007.
Yeah, nearly 7 years ago now.
Gosh,
I was preparing to go to boot camp, I think, and all of that. 7 years.
Right,
yeah. And 7 years next month. So, yeah, lots has happened since then, and you're kindly playing songs from my fifth album.
I am. So, 5 albums. I mean, that in itself is amazing. But I was Googling around and looking what you've been up to. You've been up to so much. Tell me initially, where did this all start for you? You were only young, weren't you, when you started singing?
Yeah, I sort of found that I had a voice when I was about 3 or 4 years old, and I used to compete in a lot of Eisteddfod competitions in Wales. We're encouraged as schoolboys and girls to compete. It's all friendly, you know, but it's good practice to get familiar with performing in front of an audience. And yeah, I remember vividly, Aled Jones had his I'm Walking in the Air out in the charts, and that was my party piece. My family used to embarrass me and get me up every single family party or, you know, dinner, and I used to get up and sing I'm Walking in the Air. But, I loved it.
Yeah.
I just loved being on the stage, and wanted to pursue a career in singing, initially alongside rugby. Yeah. But injury prevailed, which kind of made my mind up for me in a way. It meant that it was singing alone, you know. Well, and acting. I studied drama at university in Birmingham, and then I got selected to go to the music school, so I went there for 6 years, and then the Royal Academy in London to study musical theatre, but then I was whisked away into that dreaded ITV show, the X Factor. But I got no regrets. It was the best thing I could have done.
I'm sure not. That was amazing, actually. It must have been an amazing experience. What's your best memory from that?
For me, it was meeting Celine Dion. I'm a huge Celine fan. Yeah. And we got to work with her, and I sang a little bit with her. And I remember walking into this room in a Dorchester hotel, and we weren't told what we were doing. It was a surprise, as a lot of those things were, because they obviously want your reaction on camera.
Of course.
And they certainly got their desired reaction from me, because the door opened, and there's Celine Dion, one of my idols, next to this kind of crystal-encrusted, see-through piano, and her husband, René, who manages her. And I was in my oils, you know. Yeah. That was a moment, but there were many moments. I mean, just the thrill of singing in front of 10, 13 million people every Saturday was a huge honour.
Yeah. Your family must have been really proud as well. They must have been.
They were in the end, when I convinced them it was a good idea, but initially they were like, well, what have you done? You're at music school and you've just gone on, you've sold your soul to the devil. You know?
Oh dear.
But my mum got into the swing of things as time went on, and I think she quite enjoyed it, and people remember her jumping up and down and everything. My dad took up more of a back seat because he's a slightly more camera shy.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it now, that's just, I mean, the X Factor is just one of the things that you've done. That was a massive thing at the time, and wonderful experiences. But you've toured, you've done some wonderful charity work. Tell us some of the things that you've done in the last 7 years that you've really, again, stand out things to you.
Yeah, well, I've been lucky enough to do a mixture of different things. And I mentioned I studied in musical theatre after music college, and it wasn't for very long, mind, but it was my passion. That's what I would have done had I not gone on to a TV platform. I would have studied for the year and a half and then auditioned for West End, probably.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky enough to perform lead roles in We Will Rock You, Grease, the musical, The War of the Worlds with Jeff Wayne. I did a European and British tour with him, and More recently, I played the role of Rocky in the Rocky Horror Show, the 40th anniversary tour.
That must have been great too, really.
Good fun, yeah, really good fun. Completely different as well. And a lot of people didn't expect me to come out with nothing but leopard print pants, it was actually, and lots of spray tan. In the second half, I did sport some fishnets and a boa, and dressed up as a lady, it was all very good fun. And as I said before in interviews that you'll never have that much fun on stage. It's very unlikely, where you get the audience interacting with you. But alongside the theatre, I've been recording, like I said, and doing my solo tours. I do a lot of one-off concerts as well. I've got, I think, one coming up in Runcorn on the 2nd of May. Tickets are available on my website, but that's before my tour, which will start in the autumn. So the tour date that will be announced later after the album, which is released on the 14th of April.
Right, not long then now. Not long at all.
Not long, no.
No, but
and I've kept myself busy as well with. I speak Welsh. I'm born in Wales, and I had a TV show in Wales.
Yeah.
We called the Rhydian show, which was a 10-part series. So I gained experience TV from the X Factor, and then that helped me front my own show. So I've had a very varied career in the past 7 years, yeah.
You have? I mean, and you've performed for royalty, haven't you, as well, and at Andrew Lloyd Webber's birthday party, and you've done everything.
Yeah.
What's there left to do?
Well, there's a lot more left to do, and I love working at my craft, and I've been training for 2 hours just before I spoke to you, and I have my guitarist over because we're doing a sort of live lounge session on Sunday. But yeah, there's lots left to do. I mean, for me, I'd love to see this album top the charts. That's something I haven't done. I've had a number 2, I've had a number 3, but I haven't had a number 1 yet. So that would be lovely. And I've very much gone back to my roots with this album. It's classical crossover, so we will qualify for the classical world and the classical Brits and all of that. And that's what I wanted to do. And I mean, a lot of people might say, well, what does classical crossover mean? But it's simply classical with a twist and incorporating some contemporary songs, like you've just heard.
Yeah.
I think with Kerry Ellis, she's a West End star, and she also sings a lot with Brian May, so she has that West End rocky voice. And the other collaboration on the album is with Bonnie Tyler, who has a rock voice. So I wanted to fuse my classical voice with these great singers.
That's wonderful. There's a great mix on here. Like you said, can I play another tune and then come back and talk to you for some more? Is that okay?
By all means, please do. Yeah, thanks.
I think we'll play One Day Like This now, and then we'll come back and talk again.
Great.
That was wonderful, that Rhydian. It was really wonderful.
I've thrown everything at that, including the kitchen sink, haven't I?
Very powerful. It is very, very powerful. So let's talk about your album. I mean, this is your 5th album, and it's not that many years, really. How much time does it take to put an album together?
It's a great question, because it varies, actually. Yeah. This has taken me over 9 months.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get it right. It was important for me, because I have complete control of this album, which is a first, and I wanted to choose the right songs, and there's 16 songs on the album, so it's like 2 albums in one, really.
Yeah.
And from doing the artwork correctly, to the right producer, to the right mixer, to the right person who masters it right at the end.
Yeah.
And you can hear the tracks are quite big, and we've got a lot of players in for this. It's a substantial budget, really.
Yeah.
But I like to take my time over an album, because there's nothing worse. You can hear it if somebody's done a rushed album, and gone with the days, really, of so it used to take a lifetime for a great artist to release their first album. The stars of yesteryear, and there's nothing wrong with taking time. And the fact of the matter is, we've had to take time with this, because you can't rush a good album.
No, and it is a good album. It's a great album, and I hope you get that number 1. I really do.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would be the icing on the cake. It really would. Just fingers. We just need people to buy it. That's the main thing, and people can pre-order it on Amazon and iTunes already. It's there, and I'm doing a big TV campaign which will kick off just before the 14th of April, which is the release date, and run for 2 weeks. And there'll be poster campaigns and stuff. Trying to think, where's the major city next to you?
Manchester.
Manchester. Yeah. I'm doing. You hopefully see me on the posters there, and I believe there's a digital advertising thing there, which I've splashed out and going to advertise there in Manchester.
Brilliant.
And I'll be hopefully coming to the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester in October or November.
Right. Just a couple of miles down the road from where we are now. Actually, that's great. It's a great place.
Yeah. Well, I just love what I do. I feel very privileged to be in this position because I'd be doing it anyway. It's my hobby, singing, and I love the fact that I get to play my music on your radio station and to go touring.
Rhydian, sometimes, I wonder, you must want to pinch yourself sometimes and think about, when you think back and think of all this stuff you've done in the last 7 years.
Yeah, I don't really think back that much at the moment because I still
You're
think...
too busy.
It's too busy, and it's all my apprenticeship for what's to come, and I don't never want to rest on my laurels. I think I've done great work so far. I think great for me as an artist, for my development, and building a career like this is also about knowing when to say no, and it would be very easy for someone from reality TV to do reality TV after reality TV.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've had those offers to do your Dancing on Ice and Big Brother and stuff, and sometimes there's a financial incentive, but it ends there for me. I think no, I'd rather carve out a career as a singer, and that's what I've done, and I'm pleased that I've done that, because I think it's once you start doing other things. If you're known as a singer, and that's what I'm known from the X Factor, and hopefully people think, all right, you've got a classical voice and you can sing well. I hope so. Anyway, some people are listening might say they don't like me, and that's fine, and that's part and parcel of life. There'll be some that like you and some that don't. But it's always been about, for me, having a long career, and the beauty of being a classical singer is I'm only now starting to get good. It's like the voice develops later. And my voice will be at its peak when it's 45, 50. Maybe a little bit before that, but I'm 30. Well, I've just turned 31 actually.
Yeah,
but that's exciting for me. I connect with an audience, and I've still got to make songs and albums that touch the heartstrings of an audience. I want to move an audience, and I want it to be dramatic but beautiful. That's drama, and beauty is really what I'm about. And you only have to look at pictures of me. Not beauty, I take that back. I'm not saying I'm beautiful, but I'm certainly dramatic with my white hair and my suit that I wear.
Yeah.
But the beauty, I want, it's about stirring the audience emotions.
Yeah.
And I hope that I can do that on this record.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. Rhydian, I've got to ask you went back to school, didn't you? Sang at school. What was it like going back to your old school singing?
Oh yeah, I did. I loved it. I had happy school days.
Yeah.
And it was great. I think you're referring to when Prince Charles went there. Yes. The Prince, I'm sure it was his people, but they wanted me to perform, and obviously the headmaster said that would be a great if he could, because I'm an ambassador of the Prince of Trust, so I do quite a lot with Prince Charles. And I went back in the sports hall, and it was as if it was yesterday I was there, as a student. They always make me feel welcome when I go back to school. Yeah,
well, that's wonderful that you can do that, isn't it? It really is. I've got to give somebody a mention, actually. A lady called Alice Moss, who's a big fan of yours from Orlando, asked me to say hello to you while you're on the radio with me. So,
Alice, I know, of course, I know Alice.
Yeah.
Because she flies over to see me from America, and I know she runs an American Facebook for me. Massive lover of music. She really knows the music, and I believe she came to hear about me because I toured with Justin Hayward at the Moody Blues.
Right.
And Alice is a huge fan of Justin and the Moody Blues. So that's how she got to know me. And of course, one of the lead track actually of this album is Nights in White Satin, influenced heavily by Justin Hayward. So hello Alice, if she's listening.
Well, I think she was intending to. Yeah, I'm sure. So, and lots of other listeners were listening out for you on Tuesday, and apologise again for that, but at least we've managed to catch up tonight, so that's made up for that. Yeah. So I wish you all the very best with your album, and let's just give out that information again, Rhydian. It's out on the 14th of April.
It is, yeah. It's called One Day Like This, and it's out on the 14th of April. You can pre-order it now if you want on iTunes or Amazon. But yeah, it's that's all I can say, really. I just hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Listen, those dates for your tour, are they not up on a website yet?
They're not up yet, no.
But
we're probably going to announce that on the 14th.
On the 14th.
So it's in conjunction with the release of the album, yeah. But I've seen the provisional tour, and we definitely the Bridgewater in Manchester with Bedford.
So look out for that then. Look out for those tickets.
Come along, I'd love to meet you.
Yeah, and I will come along to see you there at the Bridgewater and let you know I'm definitely coming. Anyway, it's been lovely talking to you, it really has. And we're going to play a final track off your album. And we've
great.
It's The Blower's Daughter.
Oh, there we are. That's exclusive. You'll be the first radio station to play this song.
Am I all right then?
Yeah, go for it.
That's lovely. Well, thank you for the exclusive.
My pleasure. It's been a pleasure, Jill.
Thanks a lot, Rhydian. Thank you.
Bye-bye.